Minister of Finance. Yang amat berhormat, Lim Guan Eng, Chief Minister of Penang, Ms. Jennifer Lopez, Country Head of ACCA.
Amat berhormat for taking the time out of his busy schedule to deliver the keynote address this morning.
Thank you.
This morning's forum shines the spotlight on the finance and accounting industry and its players.
Before I begin, I'd like to admit first, in front of all the accountants gathered today, that I'm a failed accountant. I graduated in economics and accounting in Australia and chose to practice in accounting. Somehow it was more difficult for me to get an auditing position in a Big 8 accounting firm as compared to my classmates, and that was in 1984. But I was delighted after months of failed interviews with top accounting firms, where I finally landed a position with a Big 8 firm. At that time it was Big 8, now it's Big 4. However, my delight was short-lived as I was unceremoniously sacked without any professional reason after less than 1 week, when they found out who my father was. For some of you who may not know, I'm the son of DAP leader Lim Kit Siang. Obviously, because I'm the son of Lim Kit Siang, I was not deemed to be qualified to be an accountant, as I was feared to share my father's unhealthy passion for integrity, transparency, full disclosure, as well as giving a true and fair view. Now, this definitely disqualified me as an accountant with the Big 8 firm, as the 1980s then was a time of financial hanky-panky and massive cover-ups, such as the Bank Bumiputera financial losses scandal. Needless to say, I was devastated when I found I could not get a job as an accountant. But then, all's well that ends well. After failing to make the cut as an accountant, I had no choice but to join politics and became the Penang Chief Minister. I would therefore wish to congratulate all of you who have made the grade as an accountant. And if you do not make it as an accountant, do not despair. You can always be like me and hope to become Penang Chief Minister. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank ACCA for inviting me to speak at the Accountants for Business Forum on the topic of shared services and outsourcing as a crucial finance transformation tool. Today's topic of discussion is high in the Penang state agenda, especially since Penang has been recognized by United Nations Industrial Development Organization as one of the top 10 industrial destinations in the world, with a reputation as one of the locations to watch for as the next outsourcing boom site. With such obvious potential, it is fitting that Penang is host to this thought-provoking forum. Now, in 2009, KPMG's report on exploring global frontiers identified Penang as one of the 31 emerging business process outsourcing hubs of the future. And today, prominent multinational corporations such as AMD, Agilent, Citibank, Dell, Intel, Jabil, Motorola, Mattel, Seagate, and of course the list goes on and on, have already set up their shared services and outsourcing activities in Penang, encompassing financial services, human resources, trade bills processing, call centers, information technology, outsourcing services, data intelligence, design and development, as well as supply chain management. The concept of SSO, shared services and outsourcing, first came about 30 years ago, and back then it was deemed to be a radical idea viewed with an equal measure of optimism and skepticism. Fast forward to today, and the SSO is now a mainstream business function which has delivered strategic value. Now, the Penang State Government is also keen on delivering strategic values, especially in financial management. We have implemented CAT governance, CAT governance based on competency, accountability and transparency, and the results is evident with record budget surpluses every year since we took power in 2008. At the same time, we have also managed to reduce our government debts from 630 million on the 8th of March 2008 when we took over to only 30 million ringgit now at the end of 2011. Now, this marks a debt reduction of 95% over a period of over 3 years, the highest record of debt reduction in Malaysia. Some skeptics dismiss our success in reducing debt as mere restructuring because we transfer our debt to the federal government. But what do you mean by restructuring? As an accountant, when you talk about restructuring, it's a process that allows a private or public company or a government facing cash flow problems and financial distress to reduce or renegotiate its delinquent debts in order to improve or restore liquidity and rehabilitate it so it can continue its operations. It is also not refinancing. When I talk about refinancing, it is basically means replacement of old debt by new debt when not under financial distress. In Penang's case, there is no restructuring, as Penang has no delinquent debts that are in arrears, suffers no cash flow problems, and is not under financial distress. In fact, over the last 4 years, Penang has increased our cash reserves by nearly 50% to 1.2 billion ringgit. Neither is there refinancing, as Penang is not replacing the old 630 million ringgit debt with new ones. This is simply just a case of debt reduction from 630 million ringgit to 30 million ringgit. And the government doesn't need to pay that 600 million ringgit, which we have reduced. Now, Penang's singular success in debt reduction is certified even by the Auditor General's report. In other words, this is a true and fair view. Now, certain quarters claim that the same transfer of debts is done in other states. Then, the question is asked, why is it that the debts of these states are not reduced by 95% like Penang? If Malaysia and Penang in particular is well positioned to be a major player in the SSO industry because of the many attractions offered. At the top of the list for Penang is of course our world-class infrastructure, a high-capacity digital fiber optic network, and of course our experienced business hubs and cities, complemented with a pool of highly skilled workforce and cultural adaptability, efficient transport, and a comfortable living environment, a clean administration with open tenders and good governance based on competency, accountability, and transparency. No doubt that there will be many questions on how business can achieve the economies of scale promised by the SSO initiative. In fact, it is better to ask questions first before jumping on the bandwagon. And today's ACCA forum provides you with the perfect opportunity to understand more about the SSO industry and the role it plays in your company's future. Remember to understand, well, or else you'll be repeating the accountant's joke that there are two sides of the balance sheet. The left side comprising of assets and the right side comprising of shareholders' funds. On the left side of, if you do not understand well, then you'll find your balance sheet looking like this. On the left side of the balance sheet, there is nothing right. On the right side, there is nothing left. On that note, I wish everyone a fruitful forum this morning. Thank you very much.
Alright, thank you, Janet. We would also like to invite the media to join us at Salon 3 for the press conference with Yang Ahmad Muhammad and Jennifer Lopez. New ones. We also have with us today